my glam fam, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing and just demoing, because I already love the product, I'm not going to be reviewing, the 35G Bronze Goals Morphe palette. This is their newest launch, along with other bronze products that they launched that will be used in this video. Well, for those of you who are new, hi, welcome. This was like really aggressive. Let's take it back. This is not my original background. I'm sure you guys that watch me noticed I am somewhere else. So we're at my studio right now. This is where I actually perform makeup on clients. This is where I work. So I have the collection here and I thought, why not just come sit here, film. If you guys do like this setup, this lighting, all of this, let me know and I will continue to film here because it's so much more easier for me. But if you don't, if you prefer the other setup, which is my house, girl, I got you. Just let me know. I really hope I didn't have anything in my teeth because I didn't check before doing this intro. All of the products I use or mention will be listed below, along with any discount codes if I can find any. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the Glam Fam. Come join us. We are a lot of fun, I promise. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Enjoy the video. So just to prime my eyes, I'm going to be using the Jouer Cosmetics Concealer in the shade Lace. So you can even just use your normal concealer. I usually use the shade Custard. We're first dipping into this nice brown shade right here. So I went ahead and just dusted off all of the concealer from my brush. So it was now a clean brush before using this first shadow. This is going to act as our transitioning shade. So now I'm going to take this, mainly focusing on my outer corner since the drama for this look will be on the outer corner. But I'm also applying a little bit into my crease and in my inner corner right here. Once I get to this area right here, I kind of release pressure because I don't want the darkness to build up right there. I want the darkness to focus only right here. Now I'm going to dust off my brush and pick up this next brown shade. And this is just going to pretty much darken our look. As for the brush, I'm using the brush MB23, I believe. Yes. It is a synthetic brush. The length of it is my favorite because you can actually really blend nicely with this. And since it is synthetic, you can use it for creams like I did with the primer and powders like I am doing with the eyeshadows. Focusing more on the crease for this shade because it is darker, while still applying a little bit on the outer corner. Then I dust off my brush. I have a paper towel right in front of me. And then I kind of buff everything upward to make sure that there are no harsh edges. Next, I'm picking up an M433 brush and that center shade right here. First, start off by applying this on the outer corner, just like that. And then bringing it upward into the crease. So as you notice, I am not taking this really high like I did with the first two shades and the MB23 brush because this brush is definitely much more dense and smaller. This is mainly used for placement and blending small circular motions. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm just applying a little bit right here and then going back in with the MB23 brush and I'm just going to be buffing this out. Just like that, not too much. Next, picking up this reddish brick shade. I'll be taking that with the same M433 brush and I'm going to be repeating the same step, starting with my outer corner and then taking it into my crease. So when I'm doing this part right here, I actually don't really close my eye. I kind of look straight into the mirror that I'm holding. And I just deepen my crease just like so because I actually want to see where my eye opens and I want this reddish shade to actually show. I want there to be that really nice hint of that brick color into this eye look because it looks really nice with those bronzy shimmers. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm just looking straight to my mirror and applying this into my crease and a little bit above. So now when I look straight into the camera and into you guys, you can see that nice reddish shade is visible. Next, taking that first blending brush, the MB23, I am just going to buff this out so that there are no harsh edges. Next, I'm going to be picking up this brush. It is a Samey 2.5 blending brush, along with this reddish brick shade, which was somewhat similar to the previous shade we used, but a little bit darker and more brown. I'm going to just place this directly into my crease and deepen it even more than we did with the previous shadow. Now taking any flat brush, I'm using a Mercier eye color brush. I'm just going to be applying this on the outer half of my eye just to kind of bring that outer corner together because we are going to make this a lot more darker. And then picking up the M433 and buffing it out. Just like that. Picking up this chocolate brown shade and that Samey Beauty 2.5 blending brush. I'm going to apply this directly into my crease. Again, just straight looking out into the mirror. And now that I have shadow on my outer corner, I'm going to extend this and bring it down here and blend in small circular motions to kind of get a nice smoky effect going on right there. The black in this palette is actually very opaque, so keep that in mind. So a little will go a long way. So just on the edges, when I open my eyes, I don't want to overpower the black from the brown. So here, let me zoom in so I can explain this a little bit better. So you guys see how I have brown right here? And I'm gonna make sure the black stops right here because I don't want the black to come on top of the brown and overpower it. I will lose my blend eventually. So I'm just gonna keep it right here and blend it upward in small circular motions. Just like that. So next I'm gonna be dipping in my Morphe M210 brush into Indian Wood Paint Pot from MAC. If you're an OG, you... As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the paint pot. Now this is going to be a base for the bronze shadow that we're going to apply from the palette. I personally love to have this as a base versus any Fix Plus or setting spray on my brush because this just really grabs on the bronzy shadow, and since it's so similar in the shade that we're going to apply, it looks so good. Just kind of buff it out and like release pressure so it has a nice blend. So my ideal bronzy shade and duo, if you will, is the paint pot, the Indian Wood paint pot from MAC, and ColourPop's Blaze Super Shock Shadow. I have no idea why I can't find this anymore on their website. I don't know if they discontinued it. If they did, ColourPop, you slip in because it is the perfect bronze shade ever. Ever. I'm talking ever, okay? Ever. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a swatch for you guys. Oh, it's so pretty. You see that? Now I would use it on top of Indian Wood here, but I'm not going to do that because we're just using this one palette right now. But I want to. So I'm just going to mix these three together. I swatched it on my hand and it was closest to Blaze. And I'm going to be applying that right over top of Indian Wood. And then over top of this, I'm going to be going with the lighter shade, the third shade that I showed you guys. And I'm just going to dab that on the shadow right here. Next, picking up an M506 brush from Morphe, I'm going to be mixing that brownish chocolate shade with a little bit of that reddish shade, both the colors that we put into our crease. And I'm going to be applying it right on top of my crease, not in my crease. I don't want this to really touch the shimmers, but right above it, like right here, just to kind of make my eyes look a little bit bigger. I already did it with this side, so you guys can see that this definitely looks more in-depth and put together. So now I'm going to go into it with this side. And I'm kind of bringing it down here too. Not really, really low to my inner tear duct area, but just like right there and stopping it and kind of just buffing it and lifting it up. The same brush that we applied the black with, the Samey 2.5, I'm going to take a little bit more of that black because I feel like I just kind of lost it throughout applying the bronze shade. And I'm just going to go over it just like that. Okay, don't hate me, don't judge me, I'm going to cheat. But like I'm telling you guys that I'm going to do it. So that's not really like cheating, right? I'm going to dip into one shade from this Dose of Colors Dexi Katy collab. This is their Friendcation palette. I'm going to be dipping into this shade right here. You can tell that I kind of like it. I'm just taking my ring finger and just doing that. You see how I got a little bit of that pigment? It's just going to give a very nice shine and kind of like a glitter but not glitter look to my eye. I'm just going to be tapping it onto the first part of my eye, just like that. I'm picking up the black shadow from that palette and the Jeffree Star, what is this called? JS7 brush, their brow brush from their collection. I'm going to be using this just to kind of line my lash line, just for the sake of lashes. Like this is a step you can actually skip, or if you want to go full-blown liner, be my guest. But I don't want to do any liner, so I'm just going to be placing black shadow and patting it onto my lash line. We're going to take a break from the eyes. We'll come back and finish everything off later. I'm just going to wipe off every piece of fallout that we had. So when it comes to bronzy makeup, I feel like the skin needs to be just as glowy and healthy looking and youthful just as the eyes. I'm going to be taking this oil from Mercier. It is the Nourishing Rose Oil. Smells phenomenal. I'm going to apply this prior to applying... Oh my god, that's running down really, really fast. Okay, got it. I'm going to apply this and then I'm going to apply my primer. For primer, I'm going to be taking the Laura Mercier Blemish-Less Foundation Primer. Obviously, we need to have something that's blemish-less. right? You can use a brush, but I'm just gonna go in with my fingers and rub this everywhere into my skin. Along with priming the skin, I always prime my lips and get it ready for foundation application and lips, because that will come after the face is done. So I'm not even telling you guys what I'm using. I'm using the Vaseline Cocoa Butter Lip Therapy. It is the best. I am taking the shade Tawny from Estee Lauder. It is their Double Wear Foundation. What's new? I'm using a beauty blender to apply my foundation, and the beauty blender is definitely damp. As you can see, it's super squishy. Recently, I've actually heard people tell me that they don't like the pink one. Oh no, that they like the pink one and they don't like the black one because it kind of performs differently. Have you guys noticed that? I kind of don't see a difference in any of them. I'm going to be using the Mercier concealer and the KKW Beauty Concealer. Oh my god! Okay, the Mercier concealer is just going to be doing its job to conceal and highlight a teensy tiny bit, and I'm going to be using the KKW one to highlight much more. You know what? No. I'm going to show you guys this product. Where is it? This one. Okay. Scratch that out. I don't think I'm going to use the KKW one, but for now, let's just blend this out. Picking up the tapered side of the sponge. I'm just going to buff this out. I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Concealer and Highlighter. So I just kind of give it a little bit of push. Get some product out. This is going to give a very nice glow and brightening effect to my skin. And a dab on my forehead. Like probably just that much. Yeah. No, we're doing more. I'm lying. I'm going to take a brush and kind of just buff that into the skin. This is going to bring attention to those areas, which is why I kind of wanted to only apply this to the highest parts of my face, just like my forehead. You can even do a little bit on the tip of your nose, just like that. It gives it a very nice glow. I'm going to contour a little bit, nothing too much. I definitely just want to contour my nose and a little bit on my forehead, and I'll probably just bronze up my cheeks. This is the Jouer Cosmetics Concealer. I am using today, the shade is Cappuccino. A little bit right here. Those who follow me know this. I really love to contour and kind of make my nose narrow with powder. So this won't be the end of it. And I'm going to kind of just buff this all out. And then I will go over top of it with my sponge and do the same. Nose contour definitely makes the biggest difference in my opinion. I could get away with not doing cheekbone contour and forehead contour because I can just bronze up those areas. But when you actually sit and take time to contour the nose, it definitely makes such a big difference in photos, in person. Now I'm going to go on with the sponge and just kind of press all of this into my nose. I'm going to apply a little bit of this dark concealer right here onto the sides of my forehead. Maybe just like a little bit right here. This is when I will take the Jeffree Star brush because it's definitely much more bigger, and these are the more larger areas of my face, so it's easy to contour, blend out the contour of these areas. Dipping into some translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier loose translucent powder with my beauty blender. I am just going to bake underneath my eyes and along the sides of my nose. And I bring it over top of my upper lip just to kind of prevent sweating there. Not that I sweat there, but I'm just doing it just to say I'm doing it. Kind of whatever is left on my sponge, I will just kind of run that on the center part of my forehead. I'm going to be using the Cover FX setting powder in the shade Medium. This is their matte setting powder. I'm going to be taking that on the Jeffree Star JS2 brush. And while this bakes and does its job, I am just going to set the rest of my face. So when you guys are applying this powder, just don't open your mouth. It tastes crappy. It's a great setting powder, but it tastes like crap. It is what it is. I mean, am I mad? No, because I'm not eating this. But I really wouldn't mind it if my powder tastes like candy. So once I have the rest of my face powdered, I will then go with the same brush that I just applied the powder with, and I will just dust off all of the bake. In this collection, the bronze collection, they launched 3 different bronzers. I have 2 of them right here. One is the shade Icon and one is the shade Megastar. I've been using Icon religiously because for those of you who know me, you know Hoola is my baby, and Icon is so similar to Hoola. Like, I finally found a bronzer that matches Hoola and so much cheaper. So here is the Hoola shade, my go-to bronzer, and this is the Icon shade from Morphe brushes. Identical. This retails for $19 and this retails for $30. Aside from the prices, the product itself is so much more. In this you get 0.28 ounces. It's okay, it's decent. And in this you get 0.70. I mean, you can also use discount codes, which will make this much cheaper than $19. Mine is Glamour by Susie. You do not have to use it, no pressure at all. You can pay full price or you can use any other influencer's code. I'm sure there is a lot. So just jumping into bronzer, I am taking the Icon bronzer from Morphe and I'm using Boulevard Beauty brush number B2. And I'm just gonna pretty much bronze up my entire face, all along my hairline and around my jawline as well, because I forgot that I didn't contour this area and I do want that area to be very snitched. I think bronzing is one of my favorite steps in makeup, of course aside from like brows and lashes, which are the most essential, but I think bronzing just gives your makeup life. Even though your foundation could be your shade or even darker, when you apply and just have foundation on, you kind of look dull. You need like blush, bronzer, just products that warm up the skin, and I think bronzer does that. Oh, I swatched it and didn't show you guys. Okay, so I swatched the bronzers. This is Hoola, this is Icon from Morphe, and this is Megastar. Megastar is definitely much more darker and for those who have a darker skin complexion, but I wanted to show you guys the difference between these two. If anything, I like this one much more. This is more cool. This is definitely more warm. So yeah, since this is a bronzy makeup look, I want to be super, super bronzed and glowy. So I'm going to pick up the glow letters from the Becca collab with Khloe and Malika. I'm just going to swirl my Luxie brush into this beautiful little glow letters. I'm going to smile and apply this right onto my cheeks. And you can see just like a little bit gave my cheeks a very nice glow. Yes. I like to do a little bit right here on like the center of the face. Moving on to blush, I have been obsessing over the new Buxom blushes. This is the Wanderlust blush in the shade Seychelles. This is not too rosy. It has like a very mellowed and mauve effect to it. So I'm going to apply a little bit on the same brush and apply it right here. Oh, these smell so good. They smell like coconut. Like as if you just came from the beach area and you're walking up to your resort and like your hotel and your body smells so like tannish and coconutty. So now what I'm gonna do is get a little bit of that RCMA powder and bake underneath my bronzer and all of that we just applied. So just like this, I'm gonna kind of clean up that area. I don't like to let this sit for a very long time. Like I will immediately get my brush and just clean it off because I don't like it to be very obvious and very sharp and like cut out. I just like it to be clean and I want this area to be bronzer-less. I just want this to be like my skin color and my foundation color. That's why I don't leave it on. Some people do and that is not wrong. That's what floats their boat and my boat is floated when yours is floated, so we're good. Taking the Lauder Mercier Caviar stick in the shade Khaki and I'm going to be applying this in my waterline as eyeliner. I'm going to take the shade Sandglow and I'm going to actually apply this underneath my eyes. So like not in my waterline, right there. Just like that. I'm going to pick up an eye crease brush from Lauder Mercier and I'm just going to kind of buff that. I will actually pick up a little bit more of that khaki color and apply it on the outer corner because I want this to be darker. Yeah, much better. Now I'm going to just buff this out. Dipping back into the palette, I'm going to pick up that really nice reddish brick shade. And I'm going to use this to just kind of buff out and underneath the eyeliner that we just placed. I want this area to be very smoky. You already know what's new. My under eye area has to always be smoky. I'm picking up a little bit of that black. And just like we placed it right here, I'm going to just bring it a little bit lower and buff this area like a tad bit. To highlight the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to be picking up that first shade and applying a tiny bit into my tear duct area. I just went ahead and filled in my brows off of camera. I used a Laura Mercier brow pencil in the shade Blonde and the Brow Dimension in the shade Brunette. So I know I am not blonde, neither is my brow hairs, but this is actually pretty dark for blonde. That's why there's a fair blonde as well in their shade range. But I love that lighter brow look, but the shaped and like filled in brow look, you know? Okay, so moving on, I'm gonna conceal my brows with you guys. I am using the Namies 6FL brush and the Jouer Cosmetics concealer in the shade Chiffon. This is definitely a necessity into my brow routine because this just makes my brows look so much more clean. But I can't talk while I do this, so I'm just gonna... There'll be music here. And take the first brush that we use, kind of dust it all off, and just run it across once, just like that. Look at the difference. Concealed, not concealed. Beautiful. Aight. I'm going to pick up a little bit of Champagne Pop, and I'm going to apply that over top of my concealer that I just applied to carve out my brows. We just have lashes left for the eye, so I'm going to give my lashes a little bit of mascara. This is the Lancome Monsieur Big Lash Mascara. You guys already know I'm obsessed with this mascara. I have not put it down. It is fantastic. As for lashes, I'm not sure what I'm going to use just yet, but I'm going to dig into my lash drawer and find out, apply the lashes, and come right back. Lashes are on. I went with the style Darling from Modern Glow Lashes, and now I'm just going to give my lower lashes a couple of coats of mascara using the same exact mascara that I use for my upper lashes. The time for my highlight, I'm going to be using the Optic Drop Illuminator Drops from the Morphe collection. They launched it with this bronze collection. So it is just a liquid illuminating highlighter. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. That is what it looks like. It is a beautiful glow. I have been waiting for Morphe to come out with like a liquid highlighter for so long now. So I'm picking up a little bit with my sponge, and I'm going to use the butt side of it, apply a little bit right here, and this is going to act as our base for our powder glow. So some people might think it's, you know, risky putting a liquid product over a set face, but if you do it with a beauty sponge that had foundation previously, it's fine. It's picking up a little bit of Oh Darling from MAC. This is an oldie but a goodie. Definitely has that golden tone to it. This is also kind of similar to the Amrezy and Anastasia. Oh, do you guys see what this illuminator does? Like this just by itself, the Oh Darling just by itself is awesome, but it's not like awesome. Like this is awesome. And this really makes your glow last. Like you guys know how sometimes powders like blushes or highlights are the first thing to kind of come off of the face throughout your makeup wear. When you have a base, especially for your glow, it is not going anywhere. Putting a little bit on my Cupid's bow and my chin. And buff out the under area of the highlight to make sure that there are no harsh edges while still keeping that glow. Now picking up a tiny little brush. This is the Luxie 151 Mini Flat Brush. And I'm going to be applying this down the center of my nose. Now keep in mind I didn't put on any of the liquid illuminator on my nose. I just think that would be a little too much. A dab right here. I'm going to line my lips with a Dose of Colors Dime Lip Liner. I filled it in a little bit with the lip liner. I'm taking the Beach Goals lip gloss from the Morphe collection. I'm going to go over top of it. Just like that. Ooh, hold that thought. I'm going to kiss this off a little bit. Just like that. I'm going to put the shade Can You Not Gloss from Dose of Colors and put the Beach Goals on top of that. A minute. I want that little nude look. You can even just leave it like this or add a little bit of the beach goals on top, like this, just on the center. And here we have the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed my bronzy tutorial. I really love creating this glam. You can never go wrong with bronzy makeup. If you guys do recreate this look, please tag me so I can see, repost you, and just give you some love. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed my content, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Join the family.